I don't even remember when I started playing. I've got photos of myself and my family, and I had a guitar when I was 3 or 4 years old. I started taking it seriously at about 9 years of age. My dad knew Manolo Jaén, who's a very accomplished flamenco guitarist, and he took me to Manolo and said, see if this kid's got any potential. In order to play a guitar, you've got to put in a few hours a day. I was 9 years old. And I ended up liking it. I started at the same time as my cousin, funny enough. We were both the same age. He didn't really like it. He was kind of like, it's boring. But I liked it. It was my entertainment and my PlayStation, really, I was about, I think I was 14. And my uncle was in Venezuela. And he heard me play over the phone. He was talking to my mum, and over the phone, my mum goes, Richard plays guitar. She goes, let me hear him. And so I played a bit, and he said, that's great, I'm coming down to Melbourne, and we're going to have a talk about what you want to do with that. Came down, set a schedule for me, told me, listen, we're going to do a solo recital. And I went, okay. And the schedule was 8 hours a day of practice, and this particular music, these particular exercises. And from there, I sort of went, okay, this is what it means. Paco Lurucia's nephew came with a Spanish ballet. Now, what used to happen is when these companies used to come to Australia, they come to Melbourne, they'd all come and hang out at my parents' house. So Paco Lurucia's nephew, Jose Maria Bandera, he wanted to buy, it's funny remembering all this, he wanted to buy a Tascam recorder. So he wanted some money for that. So he had a guitar. It's a Ramirez 1A, 1986. And my dad said, yeah, I'll buy it. And that was my first guitar, Ramirez number 1A, 1986. Still got it. It's gone through a lot, but it's still a wonderful instrument. I think, if it's a nice guitar, they're going to get thrashed because, I couldn't put it down. Coming from that sort of, fairly cheap classical guitar to having this thing. And then not only that, seeing Jose Maria Bandera play that guitar and then the other guitarist play the guitar, and it was like, wow, that's the sound you can get out of these things. I jumped on that straight away. That sustain and that clarity, and I mean, I couldn't really play it properly still, but I knew there was more. It was almost telling me what to play, how to play. It was instructing me on what to do. The guitar it was crazy, because I never thought that a piece of wood with some strings could do that. And then it was later on, I after 15 years of age, 16, I started traveling to Spain quite a bit, and there I started understanding what that sound was, just the atmosphere of those streets. Hard to explain. It had that sound, that's like real, that type of thing. It was like it was there. Yeah. And it was like, it sounds like kind of dark, but there's something friendly about it, and I think that's what got me. I think it's really important, the relationship a guitarist has with a guitar maker. I mean, there's something there that has to happen. Nowadays, we just go to the shop and buy a guitar and that's it. Where my guitar over there is, I've got a relationship with a guitar maker in Spain, Jesus de Jimenez in Gilena, and go to his house, play guitars, have a few beers, talk about this. I like this, I don't like this. This is nice. You're crazy. The conversations are real. They're deep. And with Jim, it's the same thing. I come over here and I play some of his guitars, and I'm not going to play anything that I haven't prepared anything to play. I want to come here and I want to see what the guitar's got to say, or what it lets me say. Much more, and this particular guitar, Jim's guitar, I love that sound that it's got. It's beautiful. I would only play this type of stuff with it. I wouldn't really go into like that type of flamenco with it, because this is just beautiful for it's got that note. Really sings beautifully. Let you go. Beautiful. Last week, my phone fell off a table, bounced, and it brought like a weird bounce. Went straight into my guitar. So I've got a nice little crack there that Jim's going to have a look at and see what we can do with that. You have to go through a sort of apprenticeship when it comes to flamenco guitar. You can't just decide to be a flamenco guitarist and not play for dancers, not play for singers, not understand the rhythms, the clapping, and the language of flamenco. You've got what are called palos, so different types of flamenco, different styles, you know. So you've got an alegria, which is much more major, much more uplifting. The rhythm's a little bit more forward, so you've got to be able to transmit that. So it's not just like I know the chords, I know the tempo, and this is the scale, or this is the falsetta, what we call. It's not enough. You've got to actually start pushing things the way alegria should be pushed. Alegrias is like really... That's an alegria, so it's got to have that. It's moving that way. So, and that rhythm is like that 12 cycle things. That's like that 12, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But the alegrias version of that is that way. It's pushed that way. Whereas soleá, which is it's much more back. It's much more that way. So you've got to. It's the same tempo, different key, of course, different. That's por medio. It's got that, and that's what a flamenco artist looks for. We look for that. I'm not so too fussed about like whether you're doing picking too far or any of that. Technically, the technique works for how you can push something, how you can transmit something, more than technique for technique's sake. Yeah, I like taking like with this guitar, the sound that it's got. I like playing around with its strengths, you know. It's got these beautiful.
Something else you do very well.